sensational news this week is that what we did last year, you're going to do it all over again, and it looks even bigger and better. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, do you know what? As you know, when we started this idea last year, it was just an idea that see if we could, raise some money and get some of my friends together. And it just came out of nowhere. The tickets sold brilliantly, and as I've learned since then, people actually thought it was going to be tribute bands. They didn't think it was going to be Bryan Adams and Peter Kay. Why would they, sort of thing? Who is this guy, Eliot Kennedy? But I think it went down really well. The feedback I had and the things that you guys had sent to the newspaper even were such brilliant responses that we decided we're going to do it again. This year we're just got a little bit more time to think about it, so it's going to be even bigger and better. I'm not going to give too much away on that one, but last year we had Peter Kay and Bryan Adams, and this year it's going to be equally, if not more, powerful.
Well, I mean, it's the question I've got to ask you because it's a question that all our readers want to know.
Yeah.
We know that you've worked with everybody from the Spice Girls, Boyzone, Take That. There's a few Gary Barlow fans out there. We know that you're right with him. Obviously, Brian, Peter Kay. There's a lot of big names. Blue. Yeah. We could go on and on. People want names now. Come on, you've got to tell us something. Surely.
Well, you've just mentioned a bunch of artists that I've worked with, all of which any of them could turn up to these gigs that we're going to be doing this year, and I've already had fantastic conversations with all of the above, and they're all excited about it, and they heard about the last year's gig, and they saw clips of it online that people had taken from the audience even, and the newspaper stuff that was generated, and they loved the idea. And of course the principle behind this thing is, look, we're just friends getting together and having a great laugh and singing the songs we had hits with. So there's nothing but positivity behind it. So all of those people you've just mentioned are on the cards.
Well, in terms of them being on the cards, I mean, obviously there's diaries that have got to be sorted, flights have got to be arranged. Technically and logistically, it's a bit of a nightmare, obviously, for you.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
But you've mentioned it to these people, have you? And
I have,
people
yeah.
have expressed interest.
Yeah, they've all expressed an interest, and they're all up for doing it. It's, as always with artists, especially here we are in the summer, planning a Christmas gig, and so many things change in schedules, and all of a sudden a talk materializes, and you look at someone like Take That or Boyzone, for instance, and all of a sudden they have a renaissance and a tour is in the offing. Of course they've got to go and do it, but everyone I've spoken to so far wants to do it. I mean, everybody that I've spoken to wants to do it. So as time goes on, we're gonna start confirming names that I know people are already gonna be there. They've sort of told me that, but of course from a professional point of view, I can't put it in ink just yet. But I know they're going to be there, and it's going to be a fantastic gig. There's a few amazing things lined up for it.
I guess that there's going to be around 2,000 people. They're not really that bothered about Bryan Adams or Blue or Gary Barlow. They want to come and see Eliot Kennedy last year. How does that feel now, being recognised?
No, it's a funny thing, It's not something I've really spent any time thinking about, of course, because I'm still a songwriter in my studio every day. We're still making records for new artists and stuff. So it's not something I've paid any attention to, except I can't wait to do it again. We've done a few shows since, and we did a fantastic one down in Jersey for Clinton Woods, which was brilliant fun. So I'm getting to kind of get used to the idea of singing and playing again, but it's not something that I've put a great deal of thought into. It's more about enjoying the process and seeing if we can make a difference by doing it,
Let's not forget that last year's show sold out. There's going to be a few anxious people out there, some people probably on holiday who don't even know it's been announced. They're going to feel this is going to sell, it's going to go. There were plans for a tour. All that seems as though it might have been delayed a little bit now, but is there any chance that there might be some more dates announced around this gig?
Well, do you know what? There's talk of it because of the popularity of the last year's show. Those tickets went really quickly, and I even was told that tickets were changing hand for a couple of £100 on eBay that day that we did the gig, which is quite remarkable. But so if it turns out that it is that popular, then we're up for looking at alternative dates, and there's even word of a London gig, But at the end of the day, I get excited about playing in Sheffield, and the highlight of my life was standing there on the City Hall stage where I've seen so many of my own idols play, and stand there and tell stories and play my songs. And it was just like, at the end of the day, I thought it was going to feel really intimidating, and I can't explain it other than it was just like having a load of people around in my living room, so that I could tell stories and explain how great a ride I've had. And I can't wait to do that again. I just honestly cannot wait to be able to stand there, and I've got so many more stories of so many more songs and artists. But this time, I'm going to bring those artists out. We're going to tell the stories together. You know, that's what I'm looking forward to.